Hello, welcome to another Burgundy with Tweedy video. This is my 50th Gevrey Chambertin tasting video. I'm going to be tasting this Gevrey Chambertin 2020 vintage from domain Castagnier. I don't think any other channel on YouTube that I am aware of has done as many Gevrey Chambertin tasting videos as I have. Of course, I'm just an amateur and I doubt anyone takes my opinion particularly seriously, and certainly not anyone in the wine industry cares or is in any way impressed by that, but I thought that was something of an achievement. I don't think there's any other channel on YouTube that has covered more Gevrey Chambertin than I have. So anyway, enough sort of blowing of my own trumpet that no one cares about. Will more likely just lead to more snipey comments. I do seem to get quite a few of those. Wine's not really a thing for making friends, is it? People in the wine industry are sort of snotty and cold and rather unpleasant if you're not in the wine industry. And even amongst amateurs, there's a lot of sniping, petty criticism and snobbery, and not really a very friendly sphere of interest in general, is it? I ought to take up train spotting or something. Anyway, this is another wine that I bought from Berry Brothers and Rudd recently. I'm guessing this is probably a little bit too early, really. 2020, very hit and miss. But let's see. The stuff that they sell in their shop in London sort of leans towards the stuff that's just on the regular shelves. I think leans towards things that they probably think are just about drinkable now. So nice colour to that, relatively deep burgundy colour. It's almost slightly sort of purple twinge to that. And then what do we have on the nose? I always feel ridiculous saying this, but actually slightly grapey, the fruit character there. Not straightforward cherry, some sort of berry fruit. Always tempted to say dark berry fruits whenever the wine is of a relatively dark colour. Something sort of like plums there, Victoria plums. It's definitely fruity, but it's a little bit hard to pin down. But it's nice. It is a pleasant, fruity nose. On the palate, the first thing that hits me is that acidity. Really, really nice, buoyant acidity. Really concentrated as well. Quite intense, actually. A lovely, smooth, I feel like I overuse the adjective silky, but I can't think of a better word for it. Silky mouthfeel. Tannins at this point barely existent. Quite full for a Gevrey Chambertin. By the standards of any other wine, you would at best call that medium-bodied, but actually quite thick in a nice way. There's something weighty, powerful, certainly not overbearing. It's still very much within the realms of lovely fresh fruit, but kind of really dense, concentrated, lovely fresh fruit. They sound like contradictions. Can you see my vines overhead? Thought I'd switch to linear for a change rather than the usual wide angle lens, so hopefully you don't see quite as much of my awful brickwork. Perhaps just a bit more greenery, fingers crossed. Something a tiny bit like grilled meat or something, which is quite interesting, quite different from that whole fruit character. I wouldn't say sanguinous, but yeah, something very slightly sort of meaty, barbecuey, charry, but subtle. It's certainly not smoky. Starting to get a tiniest hint of sort of perhaps white pepper sort of tannin, very fine, very sort of mild pepper there. It's lovely. It's sort of quite intense, quite concentrated, slightly meaty, very fruity, very dense, dark. A bit difficult to pin down the fruit character, but I like it, whatever it is. Perhaps it is veering a little bit blackcurranty now I think about it, but it has a thickness that, you know, blackcurrant juice always feels like it's going to be sort of quite thin. Yeah, that's good. So here's to 50 Gevrey Chambertin tasting videos on the YouTube channel that focuses on Burgundy that nobody in the wine industry cares about, and most people who are not in the wine industry also don't care about. Cheers.